Hey everyone, welcome back to the M&R show. I'm Ron, and we see Malcolm is still on his vacation. I mean, the young man is having the time of his life in Atlanta. He saw Malk's boy Trae Young, so I mean, we can't be mad at the kid. But he will be back on the next episode. But we see you got PR specialist, Money Mont in the building. So Mont, how you doing today?
Man, I'm doing good. I'm feeling good. It's been a great wildcard weekend of sports. I think the NFL really hit it on the head, adding in this extra team in the playoffs. It's beautiful. I'm loving it.
Yeah, so we know we had a very painful game and day yesterday, at least for the Cowboys. Man, I guess Steelers fans too. But the first topic is basically who is the most responsible for the Dallas Cowboys wildcard exit. Now, I would love to start this one, Mont, because I have multiple things to say.
Get it off your chest, bro.
I think basically the most responsible person or people that have really messed with the Dallas Cowboys is really just the stars. The easy answer, I could go like Jerry or the Codes, but that's what everybody else is saying. So I'm going to say the other things that people aren't saying. This is stars, period. You start with the quarterback, Dak. Worst playoff game he's played. He played in 4 playoff games. I thought he was amazing in the other 3. So I was legit surprised at him playing as bad, because usually he kind of turns it up a little bit for the playoff. So I was surprised. I mean, 53% completion percentage, that's pedestrian. No, that's below pedestrian.
Ooh.
1 pick, a fumble, 5 sacks. I mean, O-line was bad, but like, I'm gonna get what you think, like maybe 1 or 2 of the sacks, like you holding the ball too long. So it's just like 5 sacks in a playoff game against a team that Nick Bosa goes out before the half.
He did.
Insanely, like, how is that even possible? So we start with Dak. We go to Zeke. I mean, I've said it before, when he touches the ball, the defense wins. Like, literally, the other team is winning if he touches the ball. Zeke had 12 carries for 30 yards. Less than 3 yards to touch. It's no way. And it's reported after the game he had a PCL tear. I don't know who thought that was supposed to be. I was supposed to give him like some, oh man, I feel for you. I actually am more mad. Because why did you play then? We didn't need Zeke to play. That's the sad part. We didn't need him to do that. He's not the only person that should be doing stuff like that is a quarterback, because without him, you lose. No running back should be playing hurt, especially an old one. Then we got the wide receivers. Amari, 6 for 67. What'd you say? That's pedestrian. I mean, if that's probably your third string receiver, Mont, you like, all right. I mean, he did decent. But $20 million, and I think a top 10 receiver in the league, not going to cut it. Just not going to cut it. Not going to cut it. CeeDee Lamb, I mean, did he play yesterday? I mean, 5 targets, I guess. 1 catch, 1 drop.
That catch was late.
The catch was late. It was like a BS catch for real. So it's like he didn't make any impact on the game. That cannot happen. I don't know if we're going to blame Lamb. I guess Skizz takes a little bit. Dak takes a little bit. And I guess Moore takes a little bit. And finally, the O-line. I mean, Mont knows. Malcolm knows. Y'all all know. I've been kind of saying the Cowboys O-line has been overrated the whole year. Don't know how Pro Football Focus gave it the number 1 O-line. I was saying that was the biggest fallacy I've ever seen them do. Tyron Smith yesterday, 6 pressures in 1 game. This man has a 91 PFF grade. Do you even know who rushes on the other end of Nick Bosa? Who's the other DN? Like, I don't know his name. Like, I know Eric Armstead. We know Eric Armstead.
We know Eric. We know Ken Law.
So, like, I'm looking like, wait, who's he even getting beat by? Then, like, oh, he has 2 holding penalties, too. So I'm like, all right. I'm like, okay, but they had Bosa. They had 5 sacks. Bosa was out before the half. We already talked about that. So it's like, the O-line was just, it was embarrassing. Like, to be the number 1 O-line against a team with really no pass rushes without Bosa out, and they were getting dominated, that was embarrassing. I think actually the Cowboys' number 1 need this offseason is to fix the O-line. It's just too old, and they somehow are just not meshing as a unit. I think that's actually where they should go with their number 1 offseason priority, is just get the O-line intact. So those are the people, or the stars, I think, are the most responsible group for the reason the Cowboys lost the game. Mont.
Man, Ron, I am so happy to see you like this. It is the most humble I've seen Ron in the last 19 weeks of the NFL season. I'm going to be honest with you. You know, when you go to a birthday party and they got a cake, and you know what I mean, they got the person whose birthday face is on it. this is Jerry Jones cake, and you know what those cakes. you know what those cakes, they cut off a little piece for everybody at the party to get some. Yeah, hey, that's what we can do with this game. Everybody gets a piece of the responsibility cake. Yeah, Mike McCarthy, Kellen Moore, Dak Prescott, the offensive line, defensive coordinator. Everybody gets a piece. Preparation. They were unprepared in the most crucial moment of their season.
At home.
At home. A home playoff game. You're gifted that just for winning your division. Zeke, I don't like the report of playing with the MCL. I mean,
PCL. Of course,
PCL. I'm sorry that he got it, but I mean, you're better off saying that before the game so that you can fool the defense on the game plan. But saying that after the game, after you lost, it really doesn't help you. If you want to say that's why the numbers look like that, okay, sure, you're playing on a hurt PCL. The receivers, CD, come on now. You got first round receiver, man. You got to do better. Amari, most reliable. We all know that. The defense definitely did not live up to the name that they were getting the whole season. Deebo Samuel, sheesh. Like, George Kittle was basically non-existent in the game, but they didn't need him because Deebo Samuel went crazy. Then Jimmy Garoppolo tries to give them the game back.
Yeah, he's a bum still.
Ultimately, this game just comes down to everybody. Like, the pre-snap penalties, defense couldn't stop nobody, offense couldn't block anybody.
Yeah.
San Fran dominated this game. If it wasn't for Zerline, or the kicker,
hey,
it
break the leg, baby.
Close. Like, the responsibility is on everybody, and it starts with Jerry Jones. And part of that is you have to look at your coach. Clock management's been problems all season. Okay. I do think you got a guy in Dan Campbell that's already on the team that maybe can push this roster a little further. Because what else can you do to the roster? This roster is kind of at capacity to what you can do to it to be ready for a Super Bowl team. You're obviously going to lose Kellen Moore, so that's going to give you an opportunity to put an offensive coordinator who knows what he's doing behind a defensive head coach in Dan Quinn. Now, winning the division, getting a home playoff game, normally you shouldn't be fired, but Jerry Jones said it himself. It's Super Bowl or bust. And clearly going out in the first round is a bust.
Yeah. I don't think it would have been if the Cowboys lose to the Bucs, Green Bay. No one really says anything. You lost to Brady Rodgers. I have them on my Mount Rushmore QBs. That's in the top 4 ever. Okay, you take that loss. You lose to Jimmy G, and I we said this on the previous show. I like Shanahan as a coordinator, but we see as a head coach, he's really not that guy as a head coach. He's an amazing game caller and planner, and he still even messes up at that a little bit. But his scheme is elite. But it's probably we all know it's Mike's scheme, but he's 2021 did. But regardless, it's just like I went back and I watched the game again Saturday because I like being torturing myself. And then I was like, dang, no one played well. Like, I mean, Micah, okay, like he's the youngest player on the team. He's the only person I'm like, I had to go Schultz. I said Schultz, like Mike said the kicker and Micah. No one else on the whole team. It's insane. Like, the Cowboys have lost multiple games in my lifetime that have all been heartbreaks. The reason why those were worse is because we played well. Or like I could say, Roma had a good game. Dez had a good game. It just was a defense sold us at the end. There was no unit that played good. The defense had 0 sacks. The 49ers O-line isn't that good. I don't know. Randy Gregory, 3 penalties. Say him again.
Trent Williams, you know what I mean?
Trent.
They got a little something. They got a little something. So, I just want to get your opinion on Trayvon Diggs' status after that playoff game. Like, what are you saying about him coming in the next season?
Oh, I think for him it's good because he knows what to work on. I mean, sometimes also you had a good year, but you kind of were like a little overrated, which I mean, I guess Trayvon's probably overrated the Cowboys fans, underrated the other fans. And then, but he knows, okay, I need to just work on the double move. Like, it don't matter what type of move it is, but like, they're only running one route against me that's really killing me every time. Like a slant go, sluggo, out and up. What they ran a drag, like, what's it called? Like a wheel, but like not really a wheel on him yesterday with Ayuk.
Ayuk was giving him business a little bit.
Who I wish was good for my fantasy team, but clearly, he waited to the playoffs to show out. But I think Diggs has something to work on. Like, it's just disappointing because again, no one played well. Like I like Moore, I like Quinn, I like the players, but like you go into a home playoff game. That's why it like you said, it falls on Jerry too and the coach, because like I've just never seen something like that before. Maybe from a 12-win team. In my life, personally, they've gone to a game and just no one plays well. Like the offense doesn't play well, the defense doesn't play well. Neither unit. 160 rushing yards the defense gave up. I mean, Jimmy G played bad. Like they still gave up 160 yards rushing.
My biggest thing with Jerry is just coming out and saying it's Super Bowl or bust, and you know they kind of, yeah. You know, you set your team up for that one, but hey, man, it's always next year. We know he's coming back for sure.
Oh yeah, well we know Dak is gonna be there. We know Jerry's gonna be there, and we'll see.
75 mil, he's committed.
Yeah. And before we move on to the next topic, that's the scariest part too. Is that I don't think this team can get better. Like I mean, it can get better, like chemistry wise and play calling wise. But talent on team, this was the year. Like I think talent wise, because you have a lot of free agents. You probably lose Randy Gregory, or maybe not after the last game he played. Maybe not. But regardless, Gallup ACL tear. Not forget about Gallup. He didn't even get a chance to play. Like you peaked talent wise, so it's like. And I think McCarthy says the coach. I mean, that just didn't look good. That just wasn't good resume. So it's like, how did the Cowboys get better? I mean, you can say Dak plays a better game, but I mean, does he have to be Peyton Manning for us to win? You can't. I've seen Ryan Tannehill make the conference championship. I've seen Jimmy G make the conference championship. You don't have to be that good. If the defense is top 10, which it was the whole season, and the O-line allegedly was the number one O-line. If those two things stay consistent, you could probably make the conference championship even with an average QB. So it's like, they got to somehow figure out just to get the chemistry down with the talent, because I like CD, I love Amari, but like even they were no-shows. I mean, you said Amari had 6 catches, but like what those catches do? What did they mean? Those were non-impact plays. He caught the ball, but what was the impact? Did that get a double coverage on him? No. So it's like I don't know. They just got to find a way to get the chemistry going. And it's so sad because I was disappointed for like 2 hours, and then it's like I didn't even have any tears. Like I had nothing to cry about because like, what am I crying for?
Did enough of that during the game.
Like it's just, I didn't even have it. I'm like, damn. Like at the end of the day, like Trent Dilfer still has more wins than the Cowboys 25 years. Jake Delhomme has more wins than the Cowboys is. Joe Flacco, Mark Sanchez, Jimmy G. Like what am I even sad about? It's a team that just can't get it to go. It don't really matter how much talent the team got. It's just something we just gotta, like the Bengals, you guys get that monkey off your back. Like you just have to do that, and then hopefully you'll be able to succeed. But moving on to our next topic, we did see another perfect playoff game. We can leave it at that. And it was from Josh Allen this week. I mean, Mont, what are your expectations for Josh Allen after the win?
My expectations for Josh Allen is that he should at least be able to compete in the conference championship this year. I get Super Bowl is real optimistic. I mean, it's only the Bengals, the Titans, the Chiefs. I see their biggest test. They have the Chiefs this week, correct?
Oh, yeah. So it's going to be hard to get to the conference. But
I believe this is their biggest test. If they can win this one, Josh Allen should have no problem getting to the Super Bowl. And I say that because we've seen the evolution of Josh Allen. We've seen over the couple years, and we seen him get his big money. You make this big money to get into big money games. This is a big money games. You're going against Pat, who you have to prove, okay, we just knocked off the Patriots. We're not a little brother no more. But we're going to knock this guy Pat off so we can be the big brother of the AFC. And I believe Josh Allen has to have a game similar to what he just had. Now, I believe that's kind of hard. You know, I mean, it's hard to go every drive and score on every drive until the end of the game. But, you know, it's really no excuse this year because we can't just say your ceiling is going to be you're going to run into Mahomes every year, you know?
Yeah.
Josh Allen is the catalyst for this Bills team. He's where his money's tied up. I expect him to go in the Arrowhead this week and get a win. One, off the strength that this is going to be the stepping stone that Josh Allen needs. And I think if they can do this, that they can go to SoFi and play in the Super Bowl. Win, okay, maybe optimistic, but get there. It's time. Josh Allen should be able to get the Bills to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I don't predict them to beat the Chiefs this week, but if they do, they're definitely my Super Bowl pick out of the AFC. I think they're better than the Bengals. I think they're better than the Titans. So it's just sad that they got massive against the Chiefs this week because that's the AFC Championship game we really want to see. But I'd be really comfortable with the Bengals versus any of those teams, or I guess the Titans. I guess I still like the
Bengals.
Yeah. So regardless of the AFC, it's not like it's looking decent at the top, but more on Josh Allen. I mean, on my list this year, I had him as the top. I had him as the 5th best quarterback. I think he's still top 5. Maybe can jump. I figured he was 4. No, he might have been 4. But so I don't think he'll be able to jump into the top 3. Not yet, unless Brady just, the hill finally comes. I think right now, my hot take, well, not really such a hot take. I think he's just a better runner than even everyone expected. He's a better runner, I think, than Kyler Murray. I think he's the 2nd best running quarterback in the NFL, even better than Hurts as well. That, I think, is his most underrated trait. And he's not a better runner than Lamar, but Lamar is 210 pounds max. Yeah. He's 245. He doesn't even slide. And it's like you don't even see Josh Allen take quote unquote bad hits because the hits don't look bad because he's huge. Like you can't hit him bad. Only in the league nowadays, linebackers aren't just 240 pounds running around. So he's never taking those hits. So I think that's his most underrated skill. I think that's why he's even grown even more to be even more special. And like I said on Twitter, where I tweeted, I think he's looking very Big Ben to me, Mont. I think that's his path. I really, really do. Like he can get a Super Bowl. I don't think he has Peyton Manning-esque in him or Brady in him like a Mahomes does. That's Mahomes' path. He's that path. Rodgers, Brady, Manning. I think he's taken the Big Ben path. I can still win 2 Super Bowls. I have as much talent as those guys. I'm not going to be as consistent as those guys, but with a defense and the right receivers and the right game plan and coach, I can get it done. Like, I'm not saying McDermott is no Mike Tomlin. He is not. You can't say that he hasn't proven that. We need 10 more years. We need to say something like that. But I love since he's been there, I think he's been like a top, 7-ish coach and been in the coach of the year discussion year after year. Brian Daboll, I think he's one of the best coordinators in the league. I think he deserves a head coaching job. I think he deserved a head coaching job last year. So I like what the Bills are doing. They're number 1 in point differential. And we saw what he did last week. They're still number 1 in point differential. I still want to pick the Chiefs to win because I have to see that to believe it. But I think it'll be a good game. And I just hope Josh lives up to these are the 2 young guys in the league right now. Like they're 20. I think Josh is 24, 25, and Mahomes are around the same age. So they're him, Herbert, Allen. They're gonna be fighting for the next 10 years in the AFC. So Allen has to beat Mahomes one day, and why not Sunday?
Well, I hear you on your Big Ben comparison, and that's kind of hard to fathom.
Yeah.
Say it again.
I said, you know better than me. You would know better than me.
He has some similar play style with Ben, with being a big body and know how to get around. He don't necessarily toss guys off as much, but at the same time, when you say put him over here in this category, I'm still going to win Super Bowls, I don't feel like that's fair for Josh Allen, simply because the league we're in today is so money driven, and when you take up so much of your team cap space, you have to be the reason that you elevate your team. So Josh Allen can't really rely on a defense like Big Ben did and just make some throws. Josh Allen has to be elite. We're paying you elite money. We got you an elite number 1 receiver. They do not do well in the run game. They got to step that up. Brian Daboll has to do better. But, Josh Allen gets that money to be the difference maker. So, in my opinion, he has to be the difference maker. He makes close to Patrick Mahomes' money. So, it's not unreasonable to ask him to be Patrick Mahomes-esque. And, hey, say, let's get to a Super Bowl. Let's get to 2 Super Bowls. Let's get to an AFC Championship. Let's do what we paid you to do. And that's why the expectations for Josh Allen needs to be high. And I believe he can reach them. Yeah. But, he's kind of taking a stepping stone at a time. Ben ain't really take a stepping stone. He came in and shot up. So I'm optimistic for Josh Allen, but also, he has to do it.
The one that I can say, is when I read my lesson about Josh, he has improved every year. People think that's how you're supposed to do if you're a QB, but realistically, if you look at all QBs, most of them don't just improve a little bit every year. They improve, take like a small step back, improve again. Like, it's not just linear growth. He's literally got better. Every year has been a better year. Very rare. That's again, shout out to the coach as well, again, because that's coaching as well. I love what they're doing there. They know what he is, and they built a scheme around him. I mean, Russell Wilson is 33. He still hasn't had that happen. So it's coaching, and it's his willingness to be a leader and learn. Like, even though, because again, when he first came out, I'm like, this guy's gonna make it. He's not active.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you keep working at it and you care, and your scheme is built around you, this is what's going to happen. So this should just tell you, when you have a talented QB, if he cares enough to put in the work, and you put in the work as a coach to make him succeed, this is what can happen. Now, you also have to be 6'6" with he can throw 80 yards. But regardless, he put in the work though. We can't hate on him. He put in the work. Simple.
Yes. And my last thing, this, although it's, he has a lot of time, but this is one of the most defining moments that he will have, because this is his opportunity to separate himself from people that are coming up behind him, like a Joe Burrow, like a Justin Herbert, like a Lamar Jackson. You have young guys that are gunning to make their team top 2, top 3 threat in the AFC to the Chiefs. The Bills are already there. So what are you guys going to do before you're afterthought? That's it.
Yeah, well, again, thanks, Mont, for coming out. I mean, for being on the pod again. I'm also on vacation. I needed a co-host. So, again, thanks for doing what you're doing.
Hey, man, always. I'm here. Love talking sports with you guys. I love, chatting it up with you guys, hearing your crazy opinions. Hey, looking forward to another season next year.
For sure. And again,
it was my Steelers coming up.
We're on Apple, Spotify, the M&R Show. This episode will be on there probably Tuesday or Wednesday. The YouTube, the M&R Show, and Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at Malcolm Ron Show. Thanks again for coming on. All right.